Welcome back! I've solicited some feedback and some example stories for us to ensure that our program is working the way that we want it to. We will use this information to iterate and improve our program. I'm excited to look through these. Let's look. Here's the first one here. It says, Craig is a big dork. Nice. Well, true. It's not very nice. Okay, let's look at this other one here. Of course, it starts the same way. Craig is a... What does that even mean? I'll look that up real quick. Well, one thing is certain here. We are going to need to put some sort of age restriction on this. After just reviewing those first two responses, I am certain that we better limit this from getting in the hands of someone under the age of 13. So, let's write some code that stops the program from running if the user doesn't meet our age requirements. In order to do this, we're going to need to pick up a few new skills. To put this age restriction in place, we are going to need to work with numbers. Now, Java has a data type that deals with whole numbers, and it's called integer. We'll store the user's age in a variable of the integer data type. Then, we're going to use what is known as a conditional statement. Conditionals help us to make choices based on information we know. We make decisions like these all the time. A clear example is to take a look at the conditions that are made by users of an online dating program. I will go out with that guy if he doesn't smoke, doesn't have kids, and likes to go to concerts. Or, I will date anyone who is older than 28 and less than 50. Only after these conditions are met is contact made. So the conditional we are specifically looking for is the user older than 13? The answer that we get back is either yes or no, true or false. In Java, this is a data type referred to as a Boolean. And last but not least, we'll learn how to immediately exit the program so that it doesn't continue running after we've decided they aren't old enough to use the program. Are you ready? Let's go put a PG-13 warning on this program. All right, so first things first, we're going to make a new variable called age. So remember, we're going to make an integer data type. So the way we do that is we start by stating the data type name, which is int. And then we type the name of the variable, which is age. And let's go ahead and set ourselves up to fail. And let's set it equal to 12. And then we'll press a semicolon, of course, to end the statement. Great. Okay, so now let's go ahead and add our conditional. Now remember, we're going to check and see if the person is younger than 13. In other words, if the age is less than 13, exit. Okay, let's write that. So first we'll write the keyword if, and then we'll add an open parentheses, and here's where we write our expression, and that's the condition that must be true for the code following it to run. So which we said earlier, that is age, and then we're going to do less than 13. We're going to close the parentheses. We're going to give a space and a curly brace. And a curly brace opens up a block of code. And so let's just go ahead really quick and add a comment here. And this is where we're going to insert our exit code. And then let's close that curly brace. You could have many lines of code in this code block here. So let's go ahead and let's add a new line that says that they're not allowed to use this. So we'll say, sorry, you must be at least 13 to use this program. We're going to go ahead and do a new line sequence in the quotes and the semicolon. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll tell the program that it's time to quit or exit. So far, the only object that we've really used is called console, but we're about to see a new one, and that's the global system object. This object has a method on it, which is called exit, which, as you might guess, causes the program to exit. The exit method takes an argument for the status code, which is 0 means that the system exited intentionally, like we had control of it. Any other non-zero value represents a status code that is used to state that it exited abnormally. So let's go ahead and write that out. So again, that's system with a big S dot exit, and then the status code of 0. Great. I'm going to save that, and let's give that a go and see if it works. Let's run that. And boom. Now, because we hard-coded, again, we hard-coded the age up here at 12, it is always going to run into this if block, and these two statements are going to run, and it's going to exit, and the rest of the code won't go, so we won't get prompted for the rest of these. So it's working. Great. Wow. Lots of good stuff. We used a new data type, we learned about if statements and code blocks, and learned how to safely exit from our program. One thing that I wanted to point out about the int data type was that it was all lowercase, unlike the other data type we had seen. Remember, that was the string with a capital S. When a data type is lowercase, it is a special kind of data type called a primitive. Int is one of 8 primitive data types that come out of the box with Java. Basically, primitives have special characteristics about the kind of data that they can store, and that's about it. They don't give you methods or properties, they're just data. How primitive, right? For now, I just want you to be aware of the term primitive, in case you run into it. So int is a primitive data type, and string and all other non-primitive types are called object data types. Check the teacher's notes for more information. Phew. Now our application is safely blocked from preteens. Well, actually at the moment, it's pretty much blocked permanently, right? We need to make that age variable dynamic by prompting our user. But before we get there, let's do a quick exercise and make sure all this new information is making sense.